to slip on your high heels. You feel the magic in my head. Let's get the mood right. So come on, baby, let me break you off. I guarantee I'll turn you out. This one's for me and you, so let the record play. Ain't nothing like the soul of a woman to make you keep on going. Never had a lover that would do the things that Johnny can do. You got me saying my. I'll do whatever needs to be done.
Was Johnny Gill secretly living with Eddie Murphy while Eddie's wife was still in the picture? Yeah, that's a real thing people have been whispering since the mid-2000s, and we never got a clear answer until now. Oh, and this wasn't just gossip blogs throwing shade, honey. Today we're spilling all the tea and uncovering all the rumors that refuse to die. I'm talking about a mystery child, broken engagements, even a lie detector test, and the real reason New Edition quietly gave him the boot in the first place? Trust me, we've got a story that's way messier than you remember. Johnny Gill was marketed as the grown and sexy crooner of the 90s. Soulful voice, slick suits, that whole my vibe. But when it came to his personal life, that man stayed dodging questions like it was a sport. People used to ask who he was dating. Then the real question became, was he even into women at all? And how close is too close when it comes to your best friend being one of the richest men in Hollywood? And while fans were focused on his chart-topping ballads, a quiet storm was brewing behind the scenes. One that involved record label drama, mom-approved breakups, backroom shade from his own bandmates, and a career that might have been sabotaged from the inside. Let's talk about the singer who was always in the group, but never truly part of the group. For years, the world had Johnny Gill pegged as the clean-cut crooner. No baby mama drama, no arrests, no onstage meltdowns. Just vibes, velvet blazers, and a mic. But that was the image, crafted, polished, and heavily protected. See, when Johnny joined New Edition, most people thought he was just the mature upgrade they needed after Bobby Brown bounced. A man's man, no drama, no baggage, just raw talent. But here's the lie people bought into, that Johnny was the stable one in a group full of chaos. Wrong. From day one, Johnny's position in New Edition was shaky. He wasn't part of the original group. He didn't grow up with the other. And his grown and sexy R&B style, it clashed hard with the boy-next-door pop image the group had built. He came in with the voice of a church deacon and the aura of someone who'd seen some things. And fans, they ate it up. But inside the group, that grown man energy, it rubbed people the wrong way. And the more people clung to this idea that Johnny was the calm center of the New Edition hurricane, the more he let them believe it. Because who was going to challenge that? He wasn't causing fights. He wasn't flashing money on TV. But behind the scenes, it wasn't just silent tension, it was strategic silence. Because the less people knew, the less they could use against him. But here's where the cracks started to show, and it all began with someone he called a childhood friend. Before the Eddie rumors, before the mystery baby, and way before the lie detector tests, there was Stacy Ladisaw. Johnny and Stacy were childhood friends turned R&B sweethearts. They dropped a duet album called Perfect Combination in 1984, and fans swore they were the next Ashford and Simpson. But here's what nobody tells you. That perfect combination, it cracked behind closed doors. Now publicly, Johnny kept saying they were just friends. But in reality, they were definitely more than that. According to whispers from the industry, they were low-key a couple, until something went down that split them fast. The breakup drama didn't explode in the tabloids, but it exploded later, on BET. Years after their relationship faded, the New Edition story aired, and that's when the tea hit the fan. In the miniseries, the character playing Johnny implies that Stacy's mom had a problem with his dark skin. Yep, you heard that right, that one scene? It caused a whole family fallout. Stacy's brother hopped on Facebook and went off, dragging Johnny for suggesting their mom was colorist. He said that was a flat-out lie and pointed out that Stacy's own husband is dark-skinned too. But Stacy, she didn't stay quiet either. She dropped a comment that was way more cryptic and way more shady. Only a few know the truth, she wrote. And if that's not a warning shot dressed as a Facebook reply, I don't know what is. Whatever happened between them, it wasn't just about music. And if that kind of heat came from a teenage romance, imagine what happens when millions of dollars and celebrity egos get involved. Because next, we enter the Eddie Murphy era. And that's where things stop being romantic and start getting real weird. Okay, let's just call it what it is. The Eddie Murphy rumors were wild. In the mid-2000s, gossip blogs were practically foaming at the mouth over this one. Was Johnny Gill living in Eddie Murphy's guest house while Eddie was still married? Now look, celebrity friendships are usually harmless, right? But this one, people were side-eyeing it hard. The timing was just too convenient. Johnny's ex-girlfriend, yes, ex, popped up in an interview and dropped the bombshell. She claimed Johnny had always been close with Eddie, but not normal close. She said she couldn't compete with their bond, and something about the way they interacted just didn't sit right. Her words? I can't even explain it. It was strange. And then, boom! Nicole Murphy files for divorce just months later. Coincidence? Maybe. But the blogs weren't buying it, especially when multiple sources started claiming Johnny had moved into Eddie's guest house. Like, not crashing for a night, living there. Let's be real. That's not the kind of arrangement that doesn't raise eyebrows. And Johnny? He didn't say much. He kept it vague, didn't confirm, didn't deny, which of course only made it worse. Because when you don't give people answers, they start making up their own. And that's exactly what happened. Soon, the Eddie rumors weren't just whispers, they were headlines. And Johnny's love life? No one believed the ladies' man act anymore. It got to the point where any woman seen near him was being investigated like she was part of a PR stunt. And right when things couldn't get more confusing, he announced he had a baby, out of nowhere. So picture this. Johnny Gill, already neck deep in Eddie Murphy rumors, suddenly pops up with a whole baby. No baby bump, no baby shower, no Instagram soft launch, just, surprise, I'm a dad now. And the first question everybody had was, wait, who is the mother? Because let's be real, nobody had seen Johnny with a woman in public for years. No red carpets, no paparazzi shots, just a mystery baby and a man who didn't feel like explaining anything. The official story? The child's mother was a Washington, D.C. journalist, but no name, no photos, nothing, which only made things sketchier. And Johnny didn't exactly help his case. He told Essence that he and the woman were never in a relationship and that they were just co-parenting. Which, okay, cool. But how do you just casually co-parent with someone the public has literally never seen you with? It felt like a cover-up, like he was trying to check a box. See? I've got a kid. I'm normal. Now stop asking about Eddie. But instead of killing the rumors, it made them louder. People were asking, was the baby real? Was the story a deflection? Was the whole thing staged to take the heat off the Eddie headlines? And Johnny, he doubled down on privacy. No interviews, no baby mama rollouts, not even a birthday post for the kid. It was all silence. But don't get it twisted. Johnny wasn't disappearing. In fact, just a couple years later, he was back in the spotlight with a ring and a brand new woman. All right, so after years of swirling rumors, secret babies, and that whole Eddie guest house situation, Johnny Gill pops out in 2008 with Carissa Rosario, model, actress, certified baddie. And suddenly it's, boom, Johnny's got a fiancé. By 2011, they were officially engaged. And for a minute, it looked like Johnny was ready to shut the gossip down and start a brand new chapter. But instead of wedding bells, all we got was radio silence. So what happened? Well, the real story is, the engagement didn't survive the gay rumors. Yup, Johnny went on The Breakfast Club and spilled some tea that no one was ready for. He admitted that his then-girlfriend, without naming Carissa directly, started questioning him about all the headlines, especially the ones linking him to Eddie Murphy. And Johnny, he didn't flip out, he didn't storm off. He handed her a pen and said, write down every question you have. Then he wrote some too, and took a full-on lie detector test. Let that sink in. A multi-platinum artist taking a polygraph to prove he wasn't sleeping with Eddie Murphy. The test said he wasn't lying, but the damage? Already done. Even if she believed the results, Johnny said he couldn't be in a relationship where she doubted him, even a little bit. And just like that, the wedding was postponed, then quietly canceled. No press release, no drama, just poof, they were done. And while the media was waiting for a breakup announcement or some kind of statement, Johnny did what he always does, disappeared into silence. But not for long, because just a few years later, he popped up in another headline, this time linked to a talk show queen, and things got awkward fast. So after the Carissa engagement fizzled out without so much as a breakup song, Johnny kept things low-key. Until 2014. That's when New Edition performed on The View, and suddenly blogs were buzzing about a possible new flame. Sherri Shepherd. Yup, the talk show host, comedian, actress, divorce survivor, and apparently, Johnny's next maybe sorta kinda thing. Now, to be fair, they did have chemistry on screen. A little flirt here, a little smile there, enough to get the internet fired up. Whispers turned into full-blown, "Are they dating?" headline. Fans were rooting. Sherri had just gone through a messy divorce, and Johnny, he was single, seasoned, and singing. It felt like a grown folk love story in the make. But then, Sherri shut the whole thing down. In an interview with Madame Noir, she gave the bluntest answer ever. Johnny said, told her flat out, "I'm not interested in sleeping out." Now look, maybe it was just a polite, no, maybe the chemistry was one side, or just that was John, because by flirting question was ER, cover up, caught a stray of it. 1 second giggling with a legend. Next thing you know, subject of another Johnny Gill sexuality. So once again, Johnny, no more public date, no more public break, just vibe. And then came the most honest thing we'd ever seen from him. An open letter about fatherhood that hit harder than anything he'd ever sung. Now, everyone loves to act like Johnny Gill was just the grown-up replacement for Bobby Brown. Like he walked into New Edition with a smile and a mic, and everything just clicked. Lies. The truth? Johnny was never really part of the family. He wasn't from Boston. He didn't come up with the crew. He didn't dance like them. He had a grown man voice in a boy band built on bubblegum pop. From the jump, he was the odd one out. Let's not forget, he joined after Bobby Brown was pushed out. So, whether he liked it or not, Johnny was stepping into some big controversy with even bigger egos. And those egos were not vibing with his presence. There were whispers. Ralph Tresvant felt threatened. Some say the label started favoring Johnny as the new frontman. And let's be real, when your band is full of lead singers and one of them starts getting the grown and sexy solos, resentment brews quick. Johnny later admitted in interviews that the vibe in New Edition wasn't as brotherly as it seemed. He said there were too many lead singers and not enough unity. Translation, too many egos, not enough respect. But the real tea? Johnny felt creatively boxed in. He wasn't trying to be the fifth temptation. He wanted to be his own man. And when the group started treating him like the outsider filling Bobby's spot, he dipped. He didn't get fired. He walked. But let's not act like the door hit him on the way out. There are rumors, yep, more of those, that some of the guys actually wanted him gone because the Bobby Brown comeback was quietly brewing. And let's be honest, you can't have both Bobby and Johnny. Not in the same group. Not with those voices. Not with those egos. So Johnny left. No farewell tour. No explosive split. Just gone. And ever since, he's been the sometimes member. He'll show up for a reunion, maybe a tour, maybe a special appearance, but he's not core. He was never core. He was the replacement that outshined too many people and got edged out for it. So after the boy band politics, the failed engagement, the rumors, the ghosted wedding, and that one-sided friendship with Sherri Shepherd, Johnny Gill just shifted. He didn't chase headlines anymore. He didn't clap back on Twitter. He didn't drop diss tracks or go on Red Table Talk. Instead, he focused on being a father. And that's where things got real. In a rare open letter for Essence, Johnny got vulnerable. He talked about raising his son, Isaiah, who lived across the country with his mom in D.C. while Johnny stayed in L.A. They weren't just co-parenting, they were coast-to-coast parenting. He opened up about the pain, the airport drop-offs, the phone calls from school, the "I just want my daddy" moments that hit him harder than any tabloid headline ever could. And you could tell that man was tired, not from fame, but from missing the moments that really mattered. He even admitted that if he ever had more kids, he'd do it differently. Same roof, same city, same team, no more long-distance love. But here's the thing, Johnny Gill never got his Hollywood ending. No walk down the aisle, no wife, no big reality TV moment, just rumors, and more rumors, with silence filling in the blanks. And maybe that's how he wanted it. Because if you've been constantly misunderstood, turned into a tabloid punchline, a stand-in band member, a question mark in someone else's marriage, you learn to keep your cards close. And Johnny, he kept them tight. Today, he still tours, still sings, still sounds like velvet dipped in gospel. But ask fans what they remember most. It's not just the voice, it's the mystery. It's the feeling that we never really knew Johnny Gill, because he never really let us. And maybe that's the final plot twist. He was never hiding anything. He just never owed us the truth. So after all the whispers, the scandals, and the side eyes, where does Johnny Gill stand in 2025? Financially? Reports vary, but estimates place his net worth between $1.5 million and $15 million. This discrepancy likely stems from his private nature and diversified income streams, including music royalties, touring, and business ventures. Professionally, Johnny remains active in the music scene. In early 2025, he announced a return to Las Vegas for another residency at the Wynn, continuing his tradition of captivating live performances. Musically, he's exploring new horizons, including plans for a gospel album, a nod to his roots, and a promise made to the late Whitney Houston. Personally, Johnny continues to co-parent his son Isaiah and maintains a private life, focusing on what matters most to him. The takeaway: Johnny Gill's journey is a testament to resilience and authenticity. Despite the rumors and challenges, he remains a respected figure in the music industry, known for his soulful voice and unwavering dedication to his craft. So here's the truth. Johnny Gill never needed the drama, but the drama found him anyway. He didn't crash cars, he didn't get caught in hotel brawls, he didn't flame out in a reality TV meltdown, but somehow, his name always stayed in the mix. From whispers about Eddie Murphy, to a baby no one saw coming, to a wedding that quietly died, to New Edition pushing him to the side. The real story of Johnny Gill isn't just about a voice that could melt concrete. It's about a man who walked through chaos and never broke character. And maybe that's the real reason people still talk about him. Because while other artists chased fame, Johnny was busy protecting something most celebrities lose fast: mystery. He never gave us the full story. He let the rumors swirl. And somehow, even after all these years, we still want answers. But maybe Johnny Gill's biggest flex is that he never gave them. He let the world guess. And he still walked away with the legacy, the voice, and a seat at the grown folk table. No apologies needed.